Hello collective, welcome to my YouTube channel. It's nice to have you here, loves. All right, let's get started. So let me look at my little note. So I have like lots of songs I'm gonna be channeling for my channel. I mean, yeah, like doing little collective readings basically. And so I'm just sitting in my room, right, and I'm just very energetic and very chaotic right now, and when that happens I just get lots of downloads. And I heard in my head, they see me rolling, but I was seeing it in a different kind of way. Like, I don't know, like somehow in my brain it came out as rolling and shit. So what I'm getting is, just right off the bat, I feel like people are just jealous for no reason. Like, you were struggling and you were able to handle certain situations with like grace and I don't know, just beauty. Like, you made everything look aesthetic, and people think that, you know, life is easy for you, or I don't know, like if you've never worked in your life or something about that, right? Like, you could have like a 9 to 5 job and then like barely be able to afford rent, but you know how to save and you know when to like spend big on yourself, right? Something about that, like you've learned this kind of thing. Maybe, you know, you've always struggled your entire life when you were young with money and stuff like that. And I am getting from spirit that people don't see that, don't see the effort you've been putting in, and they're quick to talk or be like, oh my god, they must have a sugar daddy, sugar mommy in their life, or you know, like they're still relying on daddy or mommy's money, something like that, right? And I'm just getting people are seeing you sometimes struggle and they're not willing to help because they think, huh, I am just gonna, you know, let them get their little downfall because they deserve it. Like, everything is so handed to them, they need to struggle. So people look at you like that, and spirit is saying, people, how do I say, they're gonna get their karma, okay? They're gonna get their karma. And how do I say, when people mistreat you, they get their karma, because spirit is not, how do I say, they're not gonna let it slide. But I'm getting that you're very free spirited, and you're very generous and loving. So I also feel like you personally tell your spirit guides, like, don't send this person negative energy, but like, you know, get them out of my life. Like, I don't want them to cause commotion, I don't want any fucking drama, right? So I feel like you highly connect with your angels, your ancestors, whoever you connect with, right? And you're constantly talking to them, always trying to drive from a place of love. And let's see why spirit is bringing this up, though, like this whole topic. I feel like some of you guys are starting to probably get either social anxiety or something, because my stomach is going berserk. Or not social anxiety, maybe it's, what do you call it? No, yeah, social anxiety. See, I'm even blanking out. Like, I feel like sometimes, I don't know if you feel very defensive, or like something about your energy, like you just need to protect it more, because I'm sensing on two energies that you pick up usually, and this is why you end up getting stomach aches. Either you're like in a place where someone is feeling very anxious, and then that's when your stomach starts acting up. Like, you might be like, no, I walked in this place with confidence. Why am I, you know, like ready to fucking go take a dump? And why do I feel like throwing up? Like, why am I getting all these emotions? And it's because you pick up on other people's emotions all the time. And spirit, yeah, look, my stomach just calmed down right now. But I am picking up that you get it very bad. Like, I'm not just talking about like, oh my god, like, oh yeah, you pick up on people's energy and then it just washes over you. No, you pick it up to the point of like, you're so empathetic and very open, your energy is very open, and you're kind of like, oh my god, and then you end up getting diarrhea or some shit. You feel the emotions, and you're kind of like, wait a minute, I wasn't feeling this. How? Why am I feeling anxious? Why am I feeling anxious? And spirit saying that's where it stems from, to protect yourself a little more. I personally believe in a lot of assumptions, so you can start affirming things like, no, and nobody's energy affects me, stuff like that, and things will improve for you. But I also am getting that if you want to use crystals, to use them. But what else am I getting? Oh, the other energy I was feeling is the energy of like you actually being anxious, but not knowing how to like discern, am I anxious, or why am I feeling anxious? And spirit is saying, when you're feeling anxious, I feel like it's less heavy. Like, when you're actually feeling anxious, it's less heavy, and you actually walk into a room and you start feeling anxious. That's when you actually feel anxious. When you're walking into a room confidently and then all of a sudden you start feeling depleted. So you're saying, pay attention, look around the room and see who be shaking their legs, who be biting on their nails, and try to remove yourself a little bit further from them. Or like, I don't know, try to start a conversation and make them feel calmer. I don't know, whatever you feel will help you feel better, because you absorb energy like a sponge, okay? Like a sponge. And your energy is very healing as well. It helps people feel calm. So I feel like once you leave the building, or just you being in the building, ends up sending like a shockwave of calm energy. But then it's kind of like you absorbed all the like negative. I feel like you have a healing body. Like, you know how some people have healing hands? You have a whole entire healing body. I don't know if some of you guys grew up with like a grandma, like a Native American grandma, and they taught you a lot, but they like, I don't know. I don't know if you guys lost them very young, but you were learning about all of that as a kid, or just a grandma or someone probably taught you something about healing, but they passed away when you were young, and this is who you inherited the gift from. Okay, basically, that's the spirit is saying. Um, yeah, something like that. The other messages are trying to come in through, but they're not really coming out clearly. So let me see what other messages with the cards. But you're spirit saying you're not batshit crazy, okay? Like, for feeling that way, like this isn't my energy. It even happens with your negative thoughts as well. Not that you absorb people's negative thoughts, but I just feel like, how do I say, that people's negative energy ends up causing like intrusive thoughts for you, because maybe people are thinking intrusive thoughts. So maybe in a way you do absorb other people's negative thoughts, because you'll just be peaceful, and then all of a sudden you'd be thinking like, oh my god, I want to stub my toe all of a sudden. And maybe anxious people be wanting to like run, jump, or like, I don't know, sometimes when people get anxious they want to hurt themselves at times, or like, I don't know, you know what I mean? And I feel like you know, like when you get like, how do you, what do you call this in English? Like, bien desesperada, like, uh, I guess anxious. That's the way to put it. But like I don't know. It just sounds different. It's different in Spanish, but like, I am getting that when you feel that way, people who end up feeling that way, what I'm trying to say, they sometimes feel like, I don't know, like, I heard that when people get anxious, sometimes they either feel like running outside and not stopping because they just feel so anxious. They want to do. So I feel like you, sometimes if you get those intrusive thoughts, it's sometimes the people around you. So Spirit is saying really, like, you know, try to see who, well, like when you're around certain people, when do you get the most intrusive thoughts? When are you feeling depleted? When do you not feel like yourself, basically? Because that will help you a lot to know when to like carry certain protection things, or when to start affirming, or like whatever, right? Like, right, that you're gonna do to protect your energy. Because I feel like you've been kind of feeling like, oh my god, I keep going to the doctor's office, and every time I go, I be feeling anxious. And it could be the fucking receptionist, like at the desk, like be feeling anxious, wanting to fucking leave her job, and you picking up on that shit, right? And then it could also be that you go to the grocery store, and every time that one worker shakes your hand, you know, they could have, you know, had a fight with their grandmother, whoever, right? And you pick up on that negative energy, and then you go home and you're all bitchy, and you're kind of like, you know, and you don't know why. So yeah, this has to do with your beliefs as well, because I personally feel like, how do I say, I learned as a kid that no negative energy is going to, you know, I'm never going to absorb it if I don't want it. I learned like protection, how to protect myself, and, you know, my mind, and how powerful it is, sort of in when I was younger. But then at the same time, I never knew about love assumption. And now that I do know, I'm more of like, I won't absorb it. It's no, like, it's no, I'm not going to absorb it. I'm only going to tap into it when I want to, like when, you know, when I'm doing tarot. So I feel like you need to have those beliefs as well, like get rid of old beliefs. So like people saying like, oh, you're going to absorb negative energy and that's going to be your entire life. Like, don't listen to those kind of people. Like, you're not, it doesn't have to be that way, basically, okay? That's what Spirit is also saying. Like, you can free yourself from like those limiting beliefs. If you do not want to feel anybody's negative energy, you just sit there and affirm, this isn't my energy. I am not feeling it. There's a protective shield surrounding me. I am okay. I'm at peace. And this is not my energy. Okay? This is not my energy. This is not who I am. And you could even say this when you're feeling anxious yourself, okay? This is not who I am. This is not who I am choosing to be, okay? So I feel like this is the end of this reading. But yeah, this was a very interesting read. Basically, Spirit is saying you are not fucking crazy though, and I feel like you're highly intuitive. You're probably clairaudient. Like, you just have so much psychic gifts, and they wish you know, you tapped into them a little bit more, but with caution of knowing that you do not have to absorb negativity. You can ask them for help or just have certain beliefs that protect you, okay? Learn about the love assumption. I'm always telling people good people on YouTube that I watch, that I love watching and I like learning from them. Sammy Ingram and Manifesting with Kimberly. They are amazing. So go ahead and do that, okay? Go ahead and do that. And that's it. So I hope you have a lovely day, night, or afternoon. And that's it. So bye bye, love.